Well, hey, how's it going? It's about 4:45 on this Tuesday afternoon. A little bit of bumper-to-bumper traffic here on Sukhumvit. I am sitting at the Easy Burger, right in between the Via Market and Robin Hood Tavern. I'm just catching my breath. I had a couple of calls I had answered. Boone, my girlfriend, is up in the Chatuchak area, and she says it's pouring rain. No signs of rain here, and we're not that far away, but I guess it's part of the whole microclimate. I'm sure it's coming this way. I might stop in at O'Shea's, have a couple of happy hour San Miguel's. It's been a while. Sit back, do a little people watching, and it probably is going to start raining on me. Bunch of workers in the back of this truck. It's impressive. They'll take whatever it is, a little mini truck, and stick 15 people in the back of one. Or the way they'll use these motorbikes to transport everything from food to truck tires. There's Benchasiri Park on the other side of the road. Prompong BTS just up 100 feet ahead, set of stairs, but this is 33.5 with the Robin Hood Tavern on the corner, which is fine. It's a good place. But O'Shea's has always been my headquarters. Just a few feet from the Robin Hood. Had a late lunch at the U-Hunt Wheat Cook. Had them make me up a nice pork chop and mashed potatoes. But Tuesday is pick your pie night. Meat pies, pork pies. I'm not sure what else. The whole Australian thing, and in the United States, I guess we'd call them pot pies. But for, I'm guessing, 340 baht. You get a pie, and it's a nice flaky crust, and then you get a bottle of beer with that, or you normally do. We'll see. Hey, so it's a beautiful night. It is, I think, about 9 o'clock. I'm hanging out at one of my favorite spots, the patio at O'Shea's here, and somebody had just walked up and recognized my voice from the videos. Harry, great guy from San Francisco, from the Bay Area, and we hung out and I don't know, had 2 or 3 beers and long conversation, good times. It felt good. He kind of reminded me he's I don't know, call it maybe 5, 6, 7 years from hanging it up and possibly moving over here, and he said my looks around town, just daily living, has kind of inspired him. He keeps coming over and visiting and all, and that was just great to hear. So thank you so much to him, and he grabbed the check when I went to the toilet, so that was not needed but very much appreciated. I thank you so much for the beers. And if there's anybody else out there that is maybe, call it 2-3 years away from retiring and just doing the daily grind of work and all, yet maybe you got that end game in sight to move on over here, trust me, I was right there with you. Those last 2 years are gonna fly by, and get on over here. And it's not a bad place to live, man. It's very relaxed and enjoyable, and yeah, do your time. We've all had to do it. Get that work done, take care of your responsibilities at home, and get on over here and join us, hopefully sooner than later. And it's such a nice evening. It's also great to be reminded from some Harry just came into town, I think he said tonight, or maybe it was 12 hours ago, I'm not sure, but he's still super excited even after that long flight from the Bay Area to be here. I won't say I get in a rut, but I guess sometimes we all do when we live over here, and it's just nice to be reminded. He's over here on a 10-day vacation, and I'm living here exactly where I want to be, and there's no, sure, I have family obligations, and there'll be times I need to return to California, but this is my home, and I'm not taking that for granted at all. It's great. There's no 2-week vacation, and you know, I already have my round trip out of here. So yeah, once again, I hate to say it this way, but if you're kind of in a countdown, seeing that light at the end of the tunnel, and maybe many people are that are watching videos like mine and other channels like this, talking about, you know, planning that big retirement to come over here to Thailand, yeah, it will happen. Just do your time, and you'll be here in a blink of an eye. So I wish it flies by for everybody. And now that I'm here, now that I'm retired, I want time to slow down. I'm staring at 59 here in a couple of weeks, and I'm gonna blink my eyes, and I'm going to be 60, when it was all about waiting for that age 56 and 4 months retirement with the federal service. That seemed to take forever, and going from 56 to 59 seems like 6 months. So don't be in that big a hurry. Come on over here, do your visits, and there'll be plenty of time for the good retirement life. And it never did rain up here. Boone said it was pouring down near Mochit. Never sprinkled a drop. Been sitting out on this patio for hours, just enjoying some beautiful weather. So there you go. I'm not sure how far it is from Prompong to Mochit, but I would guess less than 5 miles. It's pouring there, and dry as can be up here, but plan for rain in Bangkok. Carry your small bag. Here's mine. I have one of those fold-up umbrellas. I've mentioned it many times. If you're in the U.S., that's all I can speak to. Go into Ross or Marshall's and get those Samsonite umbrellas, the fold-up type, the best you can find. You know, a really nice tote or nice quality product, and buy 3 of them. Those cheapy Chinese brands that are still whatever they cost, $10 over here, they fall apart the first time the wind blows more than 20 miles an hour. I'm on my Samsonite going on year 3. I think I lost one of them, and so I'm on my backup umbrella, and use it all the time, no problems. And just a quick little refresher on the bin. 9 out of 10 places you hang out in Thailand, Bangkok, whatever the case might be, they're gonna put a bin in front of you, and you order a beer, and it will be this particular San Miguel Lights 90 baht during happy hour, and then it's 140 baht normal price. Here at O'Shea's, happy hour goes all day until closing on Monday. They also, if you're a good customer and leave a little tip once in a while, they'll hook you up, and at 5 minutes before 7, they'll come around and ask you, how many more happy hour drinks do you want? And then in your bin, they'll charge you whatever. Let's say you say 3. So they'll put those 3 extra bills at 90, or beers at 90 baht, and then come around and put a scratch through it. Every extra beer you order, they don't care if you hang out for another hour and a half. It's not that big a deal. But that's the bin system. Not so much at a place like O'Shea's, but at a little bit shadier bars, say in Nana Plaza or Soy Cowboy, you want to look at that bin every time. What they're going to do is, okay, let's say you order 1 beer. They're going to put a bill in there for 140 baht or whatever it costs. So every time they bring it, just look at it. Let her see you're looking at it. You have your wits about you. And when you order a second beer or you order yourself and your buddy a beer, yeah, just look at it. I'm not saying they're looking to pad the bill, but mistakes do happen. And at some more unscrupulous places, not only here in Bangkok, but Pattaya, whatever the case might be, they might pad the bill a little bit. So just put everybody on the same page that you're keeping an eye on your bin, so it's not a big shock at the end of the night when they say, hey, you owe 3,200 baht, and you're thinking you owe 1,200 baht. You've seen the progress, and it's probably going to be more on you. Just keep ordering those drinks, and yeah, they're going to add up at 140 baht a piece. It's not the end of the world. If you want to drink for 60 baht in many bars, well, that's going to be down in Pattaya, not so much here in Bangkok. But there are places, Buddy's Bar and Grill, that's one of my favorites. I think any hour of the day you can get a San Miguel Light for 95 baht. And I hang out in there all the time. But O'Shea's is still one of my favorite bars in town, and I get it. It's a large place, air-conditioned, with a hotel in between here and the rooftop bar. It comes at an expense. So if that expense is 45 whole baht more a beer, then that's what it's going to cost me. But you'll have to make that decision. And it's a little self-explanatory, but save all these passwords in your phone, all the places you're going to frequent. Most of these Thai phones, I don't care if it's prepaid, postpaid, whatever the case is, you don't want to come over here and pay for the most expensive AIS or DTAC True, whatever the case might be, phone plan, because it could cost 1,200 baht a month. Myself, I'm not exactly sure if I pay $2.99 or $3.99, but it's one of those limited deals. I don't even really know what it covers. Let's say I get 20 gigabytes, maybe it's less, of data a month and very limited calling. I think I'm allowed to talk on the phone for 30 or 45 minutes. And I can't remember, to be quite honest, the last time I talked on the phone. It's all, even if I get a phone call, it's normally through Line, which is like WhatsApp in the US. It's all internet-based. That's not gonna, as long as you have an internet connection, that's not gonna charge against you. If you don't have that internet connection, it's gonna charge against your 10 baht, 20 baht, whatever the case might be, data plan. So all these places you go to, and I'm in O'Shea's 2, 3, 4 times a week, yeah, it's all saved. So the second I walk in here, I switch over to Wi-Fi, and it's just no big deal. So do that, save all your spots, and there's no need to nickel and dime away your 10 baht. But there's no need to pay the top plan. Just store all those different Wi-Fi codes, and that'll save you a lot of gigabytes. And Harry traveled over from San Francisco and did the old airport change in Japan. So just be mindful. The major newish, I don't know, it's probably 25 years old, but it's a newer airport than Haneda, is Narita. And oftentimes you will catch one flight into Narita and then have to continue on from Haneda, which is more downtown Tokyo than Narita, to Bangkok. So he got stuck in a pretty good queue there at Immigration Customs because you have to enter the country. I'm not going to get into different visa rules for different countries. As a U.S. guy, I don't even know what you get. Let's call it 90 days. But transiting from one plane to another, you can avoid all that. Oftentimes, though, that's not going to be the best airline deal. So just keep in mind, going from Narita to Haneda, I did it many times. I'm going to guess I have no idea, 35, 40 U.S. miles? Don't know. But it's going to take some time, even on a faster express train. But the real issue is, how quick are you going to get through immigration. So do not cut that close. If nothing else, try to fly the next day. Oftentimes the airlines will give you 23 hours and 59 minutes of connection time, and that still counts as the same airline ticket. I'm not saying you're going to be able to match that up perfectly every time, but you may arrive at, let's call it 8 in the morning on Monday, and get on a plane at 2 in the morning the next day. That gives you plenty of time to get from Narita to Haneda, take a look around Tokyo. Yeah, maybe get yourself a cheap room and drop your bags and have a little layover there in Tokyo. But just be careful. It's not the only place in the world where there will be multiple airports. Chicago's O'Hare and Chicago Midway, that's another example. But I'm trying to think of another example over here in Southeast Asia. It can happen. So just be mindful of those airport changes. And we were also talking about the possibility of him coming over and possibly working remote. And of course, it got into the conversation of the time change. It's 9:23 p.m. and I don't know daylight savings, non-daylight savings. I can't keep track of that, but it's 7:23 in the morning in San Diego. So if you have to be in a noon meeting in California, well, that's going to be in the middle of the night here in Bangkok, Thailand. You're going to have to figure out if those times are going to work for you. Myself, it's not much of a problem. I'm a bit of a night owl, so to call my mom at 10 o'clock in the morning her time, it's just not that big a deal to me. But be mindful of that time change. Again, I'm talking about the U.S. That's all I know. I don't even know what the time change is from Bangkok to Australia or the U.K. I'm sure it's less than the U.S. I'm not sure. That's pretty much on the other side of the world. So when you're thinking you're going to possibly live here and do business in the U.S., like many of my friends around town, it's going to be very late at night. And if you do stop by O'Shea's here and their Royal Oak sister property up the road, Sukhumvit, Soi 33.5, very close to the Prompong BTS, go on upstairs to the rooftop bar. I think it's the 5th floor. Yeah, in the evening, of course. I don't even know if that thing opens until, call it 3 or 4 p.m. Don't worry about the rain. There's a fancy rain guard thing they deploy when it starts pouring down. You might get a little rain on the floor, but who cares? That's a part of living in Southeast Asia. So come on and check it out. Max, I'm waiting for him to come wandering by if he's working today. He normally hangs out more up at the Royal Oak, but he works, it's the same company, Royal Oak here in O'Shea's. He'll come walking by here about 10 p.m. and he was telling me they have a new singer up there at on Thursday, and then they've always had music on Saturday. Every now and then they'll have a band down below. It's the Celtics. I don't know if they're part of the Scottish Premier League. I don't know. It's soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. But it is a party in here. They'll sometimes have an Irish band playing, let's call it ditties, in between different soccer events, whatever. It's a party. So if you're into your soccer or not, it's something to see. You might as well be in Scotland or whatever the case is for that football game. So come on down here to O'Shea's. I'm going to say it's my favorite pub in Bangkok. I go to all kinds of little bars like my good friend Stella's Secret Bar. There's Buddy's Bar and Grill. But just for hanging out and having a couple of beers, a little bit of food, I love O'Shea's. I get it. It's kind of an expat place, but I am an expat. I'm not fooling myself that I moved here to try to be a Thai citizen. No, that will never happen. I even still feel a little bit out of place hanging out in a place like O'Shea's because 90% of folks are from the UK, and others are Australia and Ireland and on and on. There's just not as many Americans running around Bangkok, Thailand. That's fine, but I don't know. It's still kind of nice to come over here and hang out and trade stories with guys my age about the 80s and 90s, and O'Shea's is a good place to do that. And we were also talking about airline tickets. He got a sub $1,000 round trip. Shoot, it might have been $800 and something. I know that's a big discussion online. I did other videos about it. Now, he's based out of San Francisco, so that's a little easier. I would say Seattle, San Francisco. He said San Jose, Los Angeles, Ontario, San Diego. This is where you want to search to get to Bangkok. You don't want to search from Moline, Illinois, or El Paso, Texas. They will charge you $1,000, $1,500 to get to Los Angeles from El Paso. That's crazy. So do your searching from the West Coast. If you're whatever, a US guy, I guess you can try from JFK, but a lot of the UAE airlines, Qatar and Emirates, they're going to be a little bit more expensive to begin with. So let's take a look at Ava Air out of Taipei, Japan, ANA, both Japanese airlines. I'll leave it up to you on the Chinese airlines. Not my favorite, not the greatest service. They squash those seats in there. Somehow they figure out how to get 21 more seats on a 777 compared to a Japanese airline. So that is because the seat is an inch smaller, and again, that would not be my favorite choice if I were traveling in coach. I'm lucky. I'm a miles and points guy, so I'm generally in business class for free. Otherwise, I would not be there. Trust me, if I had to pay for it. I guess I could pay for it, but that's not my first choice. What I'm getting at is take a look at the miles and points program, and yeah, if you can get yourself a next to free business ticket, that's great. And all you really had to do was put some new cabinets in your kitchen and on a couple of credit cards, and the next thing you know, you have a free ticket. But if you're going to be paying cash, you need to not put in some little auxiliary city, a smaller city. It's going to be crazy. If you put in my buddy's hometown of Decatur, Illinois to Bangkok, Thailand, well, I don't know how much they're going to charge you to fly from Decatur to Chicago, and then Chicago to Los Angeles, and then you're going to jump on a Japanese flight from Los Angeles to Tokyo and Tokyo to Bangkok. Yeah, that is when you're going to see $3,200 to fly in coach. If you were to somehow figure out how to get from Decatur, Illinois to Los Angeles, and let's call that a $500 round trip problem, then you might be able to, for less than $1,000, let's call it, well, even call it $1,000 from Los Angeles to Bangkok round trip. Well, now it's a $1,500 ticket as compared to punching in on Kayak or Expedia or whatever you're doing, Decatur, Illinois to Bangkok, Thailand, and you're shocked it's $3,800. And for the folks that are going to say, well, that's all good and fine, Joe, but if I have to buy a separate ticket from El Paso or to Los Angeles, call it, if I miss that flight or my bag doesn't show up, well, then I have a real problem getting on that next flight from Los Angeles to Tokyo to Bangkok. And I get that. And if that's a concern of yours, it wouldn't be a real concern of mine if I flew, say, early in the morning and I had 4 different flights to get from El Paso to LA. But if you're concerned about it, go the night before and stay at a hotel in Los Angeles. Sure, might cost you $150, but you're still going to be $1,400 ahead of the game rather than paying the $3,000 that the airline might be kicking out. You just, that's how they get you. It's kind of like when you go into McDonald's, they're not making any money selling you that little tiny hamburger for, call it $2 US. They're making money selling you that soda for $3. It's the same with the airlines. So don't let that happen to you. Look at, call it a gateway city. Well, I've named them. Los Angeles is probably the number one. San Francisco, Seattle, even Vancouver, Canada. Anything on the West Coast. San Diego has a Japan Airlines flight. It used to be every day. I think it's now 3 times a week. Not positive. I almost flew over here on their business class, but I could not get an ongoing ticket from Tokyo to Bangkok, so I ended up going United, San Diego to San Francisco, then United to Taipei, and then EVA, whatever you want to call them. When I hear the announcement, I hear EVA airline flight 123. I've always said EVA, but maybe it's EVA. And then getting over here to Bangkok for next to nothing in business class. It was less than $100 US. And that, to me, my friends, is the way to cross an ocean with a lie flat bed. If you have to do a little bit of juggling of airline miles and keeping track of things, if it's different spend on some major expenses you have coming up, it's totally worth it. So I'm going to let you go. This is a hardworking lady right here. She, every time I'm here later in the evening, she is hustling, and all the people in the different bars give her all the cans and bottles and that kind of thing. I don't know if they give it to her, but they put the bag there for her, not wrapped up, and she goes to work pulling out the aluminum or whatever is more valuable. She's a very hardworking lady. So once again, get on over here. It's not going to be $3,000. You can figure out how to get to Los Angeles. I put one example, and still the guy kind of argued with me. He was from El Paso, and he said, look it up. Here are my dates. It's $3,000, whatever it was, $400 to go from El Paso to Bangkok. And I took the exact flights this guy gave me, and I said, okay, well, let's get rid of the El Paso. What is the flight from Los Angeles on the exact same plane to Bangkok? I think it was like $800. And then, okay, now what is the flight from El Paso to Los Angeles round trip? It was $225, so that's now $1,025. Is that better than what he was getting quoted at? I think it was a little under $3,000. Sure it is. Yet he told me if his check bag doesn't show up and on and on and on, or if he had to do 2 flights and missed his connection from El Paso to LA, his ticket just disappears. And I sent back a message going, why don't you consider going one night before and buying a $100 hotel room, and you're still $1,400 ahead of the game. Never heard back from the guy. So you'll have to make your decisions on that. But like my McDonald's example, they're not making a ton of money on the flight from LA to Tokyo to Bangkok. They're making that money getting you from Boise, Idaho to LA, and then on and on. It might cost you, and again, I'm making this up, but it might cost you as much to fly from, let's say, Colorado Springs to Los Angeles than it will to fly you from Los Angeles to Tokyo to Bangkok. So just run the numbers, but don't get frustrated and put something in kayak or whatever it is and say, I can't afford $3,600. Run the numbers from the west coast of California and then figure out how to get yourself to California. It's generally not going to be a $1,500 problem. Again, this is just a little Bangkok bar talk, but that's what we do. We sit around and have these discussions about taking business class flights or how to get over here and coach as cheap as possible. And I don't know, we're here. So believe us, don't believe us, or like that guy sit in El Paso and just complain that I'll never be able to visit Bangkok because it's a $4,000 ticket, which is just not the case. So thank you again for following along, and there will be plenty more videos to come. I appreciate you hanging out with me as always here in my favorite city of the world, Bangkok, Thailand. We will see you later and talk to you very, very soon. Take it easy.